What's up, baby dolls? I'm going to give you some special pDAI updates. There have been malicious, evil scum, evil snake actors that have been trying to spoof and basically throw the community off with the pDAI stuff out here. But I'm here going to focus on the positive. There were real movements on chain, but it's not the executive vote that we spoke about earlier. But I'm just going to brush you up on that now. So I mean, like, before you even begin, firstly, the hockey stick, the Richard Heart signature, is still intact. And this is the hex chart from the beginning as well. The hockey stick is still intact. The hockey stick is still intact. Okay, sweet. We got that covered. Now, what's actually happened is, so this is, friends, remember, welcome to a bull market. Bull market, you don't get your euphoria at the start. It builds up to it. It's climbing the wall of worry. Like, I wonder if I had a friend out here, he was telling me about climbing the wall of worry all the time. Well, now you know. So you get a bit of dopamine, and then it gets pulled back. You get a bit of dopamine, it gets pulled back. It gets cut off, and people lose their minds. They buy top, sell bottom, because they're looking for euphoria. And then they only get the euphoria at the end, where they buy and it goes rush. And like, wow, but they're so frozen because they're only up like a 2 or 3 or 4x because they all put in a bigger size, right? We're not at that yet. We're at this back and forth part. Now, what's happened is, so Eric Wall has come out and publicly claimed via tweet he's behind some of, I don't know if there's all of the, like, I just call them evil snake actors that we come out here. So here is Eric with his female avatar saying, it was actually me. I will prove it. Somebody will report on it. Stay tuned. And then they have the milady stuff. That was me. So here they are coming out. So there are a lot of communication stuff where you're dealing with things on chain and they have to cross-check addresses. There's thousands of things that can go wrong. I'm just grateful that we can even do this in the first place, right? Because remember, we're dealing with something new. Now, there's other people within pDAI community as well. There's another defense. I'm not going to get into the weeds of it. Like fighting because, like, maybe they sent some of the messages. I mean, welcome to crypto, man. You're gonna deal with this all the time. So I don't know who it is. I mean, who cares about it? The most important part is let's focus on what's actually happened today. So what's happened is, so remember, the community is still building that community, that executive vote. And only whoever has all the tokens can pass it through. So suspected Richard Heart, okay? So all these malicious actors, they're doing all these votes and things, they can't actually pass. They're doing all these messages out here to make it look like things are going on when they're not. But today what we saw was wrapped Bitcoin was removed from the vaults, okay? And it was sent to this wallet, B22F, and that's the wallet to first stop the minting function, okay? I'm reporting this from our decentralized me. So this is going to lead into one of my earlier videos, right? So it's likely this removal, so you have that wrapped Bitcoin, right? They removed it from the vault. This decentralized me speculates it's likely to prepare to pause the minting. And then they say recollateralize it with the purple Bitcoin, not the wrapped Bitcoin, the purple one, as you know, wBTC, which is this chart right here, okay? So if the journey is to get these out to higher than the BlackRock BTC, then that's pretty much what's going on. Because we're going to try and get all of them to peg over time, okay? Now, if you look at that wBTC and that wrapped Bitcoin, if you remember, I showed there was an earlier diagram in Richard Heart's stablecoin, okay? So if you go down to here, you have the pegging stuff. If you go down, I have this diagram right here. Do you see how the over collateralization right here includes the little wrapped Bitcoin? So this is actually part of how reserve works. There are 3 lines of defense. Yeah, 3 lines of defense. The first one is people hold and they get paid like a yield. Like line number 1 of defense is the community holding the peg. And the defense number 2 is this collateral, which is the OA bags, and then the wrapped Bitcoin. Remember, friends, Richard Heart has 40,000 of the purple Bitcoin that he grabbed at the start. Okay, 40,000, and there's only 150,000 available. And then you have the emergency collateral, which would be the origin address SAC funds. Okay, the origin address. You see that there's 3 lines of defense to maintain this peg. That's why them testing this, like whoever's doing in the background, I guess Richard or his team or stuff, them doing this stuff in the background, it's just implying that we're like making progress towards like this final big grand vision. So obviously we don't know exactly how it would fully operate, but I mean, it would have the PulseX and Hex tokens in there as collateral, and then I'm guessing it's implying here you'd also have the purple Bitcoin to put it in as collateral. I'm sure Richard's got some game theory, if it's going to play out like that. You know what I mean? Things can change and toggle, and who knows, right? Now, it is very clear, right? Evil snake actors, they got jealous of either pDAI attention or they're here to troll. They want to throw the community off, and they do that. And then you just run into a couple of these hiccups. But it doesn't really matter, man, because like, there's so much to be grateful for. Firstly, we're in a bull market, okay? First thing. Secondly, I mean, like, altcoins, I mean, Bitcoin dominance is down. Others BTC is up. Donald Trump's the president. We have the double bubble alt season appearing. We have Elon Musk meme lord. We've got a meme coin super cycle. We've got a Bitcoin and an Ethereum spot ETF. We have Michael Chad Saylor telling everybody Bitcoin's going to 13 million. All these things are happening, friends. We have the Richard Hart core coins. Yeah, they're cheap and they're low. They're starting to rotate up. It's like we're moving into the new year. Just everything is just saying, okay, every 4 years, this is it. This is the go time. Okay, so even if there's this momentary pause with the prices, it doesn't concern me, or it shouldn't even concern you whatsoever. If people are going to come out and have a cry about these little things, I mean, you're not going to make it, bro, because like these are the moments that test you. These are the moments that test you. Like, you look back at these moments and laugh, if you even dare to remember them in the first place. And I've got clarifications here as well. The evil snake actors, they can't actually pass anything, okay? Because they don't have enough votes. The only person who can do it is pretty much, it's Richard Hart, suspected with enough P-Maker and P-Arve. And yeah, some also speculate this out there. This sometimes happens. Again, it's not confirmed. I'm just showing you, but sometimes what people will do is they'll do this to manipulate, and so they can get the prices up. They try to confuse everybody, and then they dump. So they're doing this like maliciously, so to try to profit off people. So whenever I see something like this, assume they're guilty by default. So assume they are evil, scum. They're doing it to profit off everyone else. They're trying to like basically send everybody's minds in one way just so they can exit. Or sometimes people are just upset, like they Jeet their bags early. This happens. This is a very, very common thing in crypto. Very common in crypto, friends. People will sell, things go up, and they just like go on a rampage because now they want that thing to come down. It's like they have the personal vendetta. But on the bright side, despite these evil snake actors, man, there are still, friends, over 11 undeniable facts about the tokens and pDAI being the first logo, Richard Hart having all these mentions about I'm going to make a stable coin and do all these things. There are still all these facts that have gone out here to go. And if you're wondering what's going to make it all move lots, man, what's actually going to make this thing move? I know a lot of people are dreaming of like an overnight pegging thing. Well, look, from what I can see, it would be origin address moving coins. Okay. Origin address moving coins. So right now, a lot of people in the Hex community, they're coming out and they're saying, maybe they're laughing and all these, but like, you gotta understand, bro, if you're laughing at like this, you're laughing at, bro, this thing went up since July, man. This thing went up a whopping 25x. My gosh, this thing did a quick 10x as well. So yeah, that's why it's gonna be a tug of war, because it's not even a matter of whether the collateral can be done, whether it can be done. That argument's pretty much gone now. We now move into a world of, is Richard involved or not? Like I say all the time, Grok gives 60% chance. Market here's giving like 2.5% chance. What do you lean more towards? I think the narrative's completely unchanged. It is unchanged. The speed, man, remember I was talking about this. Hex peaked in September 2021. So if I was to just guess, maybe it happens earlier than that. Maybe that's where it happens. September 2021. You don't know, man. You don't know with these. There are no guarantees. Everyone wants guarantees. There are none, man. There are none. You're rolling the dice every time. That's why all you can control is you control how long you hold. So you're like, well, I'm just going to hold this to the end. Either it goes to zero or you reach the target over time. Number one. Number two, you can control your risk. So you don't go all in on any of these. But you got to remember that there are people all in on these. So their energy is very contagious, and they're very, if there is a little crack in the system, they don't like jokes about it. Okay, because they're full on it. It's kind of like going and calling Bitcoin, hey, just another Ponzi. You know, Bitcoin maxers get really upset when you hear it, even though you know, like, hey, it's made up imaginary money. You know what I mean? So, but like in a bear market, it gets upset. In a bull market, like, ha ha ha, we're a Ponzi. Okay, so you're dealing with humans and these swings of emotions. And man, this story, you dig in, like, what about the guy who bought the pDAI thing at the bottom? Did he know something? Did he know something? Okay. There's all these links out here that are mysterious. There is, friends, there's some lore out here. So, B Roots, he had a story shared in like November. He said, I forgot, so don't quote me on it, but apparently he got like an anonymous phone call, and this guy said, pDAI is going to go to $1. I'm working with Richard Hart. And so people don't know what to think about that. But now you hear these stories like these random accounts here because everyone thinks only Richard knows. You never know when it comes to these leaks. People get whispers and stuff out here. But that's why it grips everybody. It's just like the UFO stuff, man. It's just like the UFO stuff. It's exactly the same thing. It's like, you know aliens are real. And then you see one. And you're like, oh, it's a UFO. And it turns out, oh, it actually was a weather balloon that time, right? That's why these things drain people out over time, man. It's funny. So where to from here? Well, from what I know is, what I've read is they're still building the community vote, executive vote. They're still building it. And then that would be more to the ethos of Richard Hart, where he's like, you do the work, you make the thing, and then, you know what I mean? That's the community together instead of me doing the work. That would be more like, you know, in spirit with everything, where he always says that. And then it'll be like it'll be more of a group effort to conclude this story. Ah, man, it's just kind of funny. By the way, expect more of these over time. By the way, expect more of these over time because look, friends, even if so you think, oh wow, 10 cents is going to be great and easy. No, if you're new, no. Even if pDAI is 10 to 20 cents, there will be FUD. There will be stories that run where they say, oh, pDAI needs Ethereum at $25,000 and Ethereum is only like $5,000. So we can't peg this cycle. We can't peg. It's never going to happen. People make up any narrative. Candle goes up, make up any narrative. Candle goes down, the Japanese off, they make up every narrative as well. That's not the only way to make it in this game. How do you mog the non-believers, friends? How do you mog the non-believers? You know what you have to do. Your long-term mindset, hold it. That's it. All the cookie cutters out here who are trying to like troll or like trying to swing trade. I mean, like, you guys are just sitting ducks. You guys have literally learned nothing from this hex run, this hex hockey stick run. People trying to trade this thing got absolutely decimated because this thing went on the massive nuclear run. Now, where is pDAI right here? Well, if you go to 2021, friends, 2020, this is like look at this. See, it does this like grindy part up and like we're ready to go. This is pullback. Oh no, is it done? Is it done? Maybe we'll see what happens now. So the story is still unchanged. Don't worry about this trolling stuff. Like, who cares? Think about this, right? How much of a loser are you to come across opportunity where instead of looking for places that you can take money out to insert, instead of that, you try to troll the people in there? Like, just think about how low life, think about your incentives. It makes like, it's literally, it's like you walk down the street and there's $100,000 in cash. And instead of picking it up, you get like a megaphone and you call the news media and you call the police and like you make a big media skeptical out of it. You know what I mean? And you gather people's attention around it. You see what I mean? Like, not everyone was just cut out to make it. The economist stroke is real. A lot of people, they're just not literally, they come across any slight crack because they don't have 100% certainty, they bail. And I think it's a survival mechanism in humans, but if you want to make it in this game, look, you're going to step in the ring, you're going to get hit, and there is always uncertainty. It's inherent in this game. And by the way, that's what you want. That gives you opportunity. Because if you came across this thing and it was already at $1, there's nothing there. There you go. What can you do? Buy at $1 and then what? Hold it and do nothing? There you go. The game's done. Okay, so we welcome this stuff. This is climbing the wall of worry. I've seen this time and time again. We're still going to make it. Like, subscribe, bell button, all. Catch you soon.